Howdy YouTube and welcome to my channel. This video needs a little bit of an explanation before we start. Before Christmas, the YouTuber Jazza announced a rather interesting competition. He was going to give up his channel for 1 week while he was on holiday and promote smaller channels. Now, smaller is a relative term because he has 5 million plus subscribers, and the competition was open to people with less than 50,000 subscribers. To somebody with 11 subscribers, 50,000 seemed a little bit of a high number, but they were the rules. The only other criteria was it had to be creative, and being that he's an art tuber and occasionally I do a bit of art, I thought I'd enter. So what to do? Well, first off, I sort of hummed and ahed and thought about doing some blatant Jazza promotional sucking up, but that wasn't really what I was thinking he'd want. How wrong could I be? Now, cue titles and let the video run as submitted to Jazza. Enjoy. Howdy. Howdy YouTube, welcome to another video by us. I'm Nick and this is the dog, and together we are Harper Valentine. Do you want to get down? Oh. Well, she's gone and left me with a load of hair. She didn't want to be in this. Since I started the channel about 18 months ago, I seem to have adopted, or at least enlisted, some additional help apart from the dog and a few friends. Some help in the form of what I've always called the YouTube Faeries. A few months back I did a video on fairies and introducing you to some of the fairies I've had the privilege of meeting, photographing, drawing, or just getting to hear about. But this lot weren't among them. I promised them a video to themselves, but until now I haven't been able to really do it justice. But with the release of Procreate 5, with the new animation feature, I think finally I might be able to capture them well enough, as well as draw some and introduce you to this lot, this gang. Down there is a sometimes open, sometimes closed doorway that seems to transcend realms or worlds or whatever. There have been times when I've sort of asked for things and shouted down and things have appeared. Cameras and bits of props and things like that. Dog toys. Thank you. You don't have to... I feel like I'm going to get upstaged during this, making this video. You can have that back. What? Get into it, wait! Some people are just impatient. Now, I've never really animated. I've done little drawings on the corner of books and flicked the pages to create movement. That's as much as I've ever really done. But apparently the new feature in Procreate 5 is supposed to be easy. So, let's try it. First off, let's start with the matriarch of my little clan of fairies, or gnomes, Doris. Doris is very clearly the boss of the clan. Fairy kind are random and varied. They can be goblins, pooks, elves, fairies with little wings looking delicate. They can be little round balls of globular mess. They're all manner of different kinds of creatures. This is just a small group of them. So Doris and Horace and a couple of the others you'll see are gnomes, not so much the fairy as you would know normally. They don't have wings. They are about 18 inches to 2 foot tall in a sort of non-corporeal state. So like they're half here, half not, and they all appear and disappear. And they can also shrink down to almost nothing. They also can be quite strong and very mischievous. Fairies are named like you and I are, but their names are very hard to pronounce, so they give us human-like names. And so the Oris clan as this lot seem to be, are Horace, Doris, Cloris, Yoris, all manner of random variants on that, and they don't all seem to be the same type of creature. They're not all pointy-hatted gnomes, but we'll come to that. So we've just got to get an image of Doris down on screen, on paper. You have to kind of unfocus your eyes and so that you can kind of see them appearing in your peripheral vision, and then you get fleeting glances of them and ideas of what they look like. So that's why I'm drawing it, because some, like this lot, aren't easy to photograph. There have been others which have posed and modelled, and you may have seen some of them in my titles and in previous videos, but this lot I'm only willing to be drawn. We have a dog. Much like when the cameras come out and the dog appears, because the rest of the time she's asleep on the bed, the fairies likewise appear suddenly once the lights are out, the cameras are on tripods, and they're here trying to help. Sometimes they're not helping, but it all counts. So now we have a picture. Let's see what we can animate. Let's initiate the animation assistant and make a new layer, and another layer, another layer, and another layer, adjusting each one at a time. Fairly simple. Well, there you go. That's Doris. Not bad for my first attempt. I'm quite pleased with that. And who next? Horace. Where is he? Horace! Horace! Where are you? I need you so I can pose. Oh. Hi. Okay, put that back there. Stand there. Thank you. Horace. YouTube, Horace. Horace is what you would consider a typical gnome. He's got a red hat, a red suit, and is very popular at this time of year. He's a higger gnome, not this higger, no. I have a kind of adopted loyalty to Norway and most of Scandinavia, so maybe that's why I've adopted this lot, the higger Scandinavian kind of gnomes. Of course, red and white lend themselves very well to the YouTube design, and maybe that's part of it. Now that's Horace drawn. Now let's set the animation assistant and start making some layers, and we'll adjust him. Now what I'm going to do is take a layer, duplicate it, move the arm and make him wave. Okay with that? And then we end up with a waving gnome. But they're not all pointy hats and beards. No, some of them have green hats and green suits and throw coins in there, like this guy. Of course, leprechauns are famous in Ireland for having a pot of gold and then giving it to you and then disappearing, and as soon as the rainbow disappears or the sun sets, the gold disappears. There are, of course, traditional fairies like her, and then of course there are like your great British gnomes who seem to live in gardens. In recent years there's been a bit of a liberation of garden gnomes, trying to release them from servitude and stop them having to work the gardens. Who knew? But apparently they didn't originate in the UK. Great British gnomes are German. And since the Second World War, most German gnomes have moved on to other things. They can be found working in computer companies or building aeroplanes, apparently. Some of the gnomes are mistaken for elves, much like the shoemaker and the elves, the Grimm's fairy tale story, where the elves come out of a night time and help the shoemaker fix all the shoes that he hasn't got time for during the day. They're still gnomes, or elves, or fairies, or pooks, or goblins. In Japan, there's this guy. These are called tengu. They're like a big, red-faced, big-nosed gnome. And they're highly revered. There are temples dedicated to them. Who next? So we've done Doris, Horace, showing you a leprechaun. He's not here for long enough for me to know his name. There's also, this is a saunatun. Apparently they frequent Finnish saunas, making them nice and hot and steamy. Who knows? That you've seen Tengu, and these random others that have appeared. Yoris is quite cool, little dude. Doesn't do much, seems to just sit and eat. Oh, Cloris. Cloris she's pretty, kind of. A bit stuck up, a bit nose up. arms folded and snooty. It kind of makes me want to do these things better, and she's kind of like an acting coach. There are others, random little things that appear and disappear, case in point, and there are pretty things and random things. Sometimes you feel like somebody's behind you and you turn around and they're not there. Do you ever have that? You ever feel like somebody's watching you over your shoulder? Probably a fairy or a gnome or a goblin or an elf or a pook or a dribble. Who knows? But that's my little clan. So there you go. My first attempts at drawing them on Procreate 5 and using the animation app. Some of them just been drawn to show you who they are. It's not bad. I'm quite pleased with some of them. There's room for improvement, and that's why we're here. This is part of the aim of this channel, is to improve on doing my art, as well as showing you random things around London and climbing and the dog, all manner of bits and pieces. Maybe we'll incorporate more animation into those as well. Who knows? Maybe that's a new direction for this channel. But for now, we'll carry on. Right, happy now? Where are you? You don't know. Okay, you happy? Right, okay. Well, there you go. There's an introduction to the YouTube Faeries, or Gnomes, as they are properly termed. I hope this was fun and entertaining, and maybe if you've got your own channel, you might realise that some of that help has been coming from your own YouTube Faeries. If so, treat them well, look after them, thank them, tell them they're appreciated. It all helps. And if this was good, give it a thumbs up. If you have your own experiences of gnomes, please leave comments underneath and tell me your stories. Let's all enjoy the wonderful otherworldliness of gnomes. Also, while you're there, give a comment, hit the subscribe button. And yes, we'll be back again next week with another video on who knows what. Until then, bye! Howdy YouTube, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nic, Good start. So first up, Doris. You'd think that the YouTube Faeries would have answered the door for me, but no. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm stroking the dog's back. There's nothing untoward going on.